This is weird news for me because very lately I've been doing a bunch of stuff and I've been bombarded recently. I've been flooded, spammed on YouTube with Charlie Kirk content. I kept seeing those shorts in which there would be a guy saying, "Watch this clip of Charlie Kirk owning a leftist, a crazy socialist, a purple-haired lunatic," or "This is how the left debates." And then Charlie Kirk would say something really stupid to a person at a university or at a rally or during a speech. And then a person trying to debate him would say something equally stupid. And Charlie Kirk would smirk and say, "Huh, see, this is how they debate me." And that would be the clip. And I would be flooded with those clips, flooded, spammed. I would get more and more increasingly annoyed. And I came to the conclusion that I guess American audiences, because those were very popular clips with a lot of positive comments, like, Charlie is our hero. Charlie shows it how it is. Charlie explains the truth. Charlie knows what's up. And I came to the conclusion that maybe American audiences, I know it's a very big revelation, American audiences favor style over substance. The louder you say something, the more confidently you say something, the more probability is that you can basically say anything and people will eat it up as something profound and smart. One of the latest clips that I've seen before learning about the news of Charlie Kirk being shot was Charlie Kirk asking someone at a university, of course, from the audience. No, someone asking Charlie Kirk from the audience, university audience, "How do you define socialism?" And his answer being, "I define it as the Soviet Union, China," and he named another country, which is not a definition. Okay, that's not a definition. And then he said, "In practical terms, I define it as the Soviet Union." And then he added, "In academical terms, I define socialism as the destruction of the family, taking away all property, and destroying society." And I'm like, oh, okay, neither of these are correct. And yet people are just clapping like seals. But then again, say anything confidently enough, with enough bravado, and it just gets the applause. But I think like 90% of presidential debates is just rhetorical posturing. Yeah, I noticed. Rhetorics is a thing study people. Rhetorics is a thing people study because of this. Yeah. And it's as if the universe was preparing me for these news. Like, a certain saying comes to mind, and now during one of those crazy events, he just got shot by some lunatic. And there's probably going to be discussion. The far left, quote unquote, is going to be blamed. Trans people are probably going to be blamed. From what I'm seeing, drugs are going to be blamed already, the first and foremost culprit. I really wonder if anyone who is on the side of Charlie Kirk is going to point at guns, which this is going to be a thing. I doubt, but we'll see. And there's going to be a lot of different reactions. I already saw many people celebrating in a very weird fashion. I don't really think we want a precedent in which a political figure that is unpopular, I don't think we should have a precedent of pundits or public speakers being shot and people celebrating it, because, like, do we really want that precedent to be set? What if there's that trans speaker and a right-wing lunatic shoots the trans person? You know, do you know what I'm trying to say with this? It is not a thing that we should look at and be like, "Oh yes, great, amazing, yes, oh," you know? This is not a thing that should be celebrated. Like, yeah, I didn't like Charlie Kirk. It's like Charlie Kirk was not a person that I was a big fan of, but I'm not just gonna start dancing and being super happy by the guy being shot, you know? Is this unreasonable of me? And it frankly feels quite strange that people think that this is the way. People feel, it seems like people can be very bloodthirsty. People can be very out for blood. And when something like that happens, immediate celebration follows. Let me see. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk, the CEO and co-founder of the conservative youth organization Turning Points USA, has died after being shot Wednesday at an event at Utah University. President Donald Trump in a Truth Social post. The shooting comes amid a spike in attacks on political figures in the United States across all parts of the ideological spectrum. And I don't think we should be wanting that. I don't think we should want political differences to be solved, quote unquote, by political figures, political pundits, commentators just being shot. I'm not sure that's the precedent we really want to be set. I think I have the statement by Donald Trump here. Do I? Do I have it? No. Hold on. Do I? Is this it? Yep, that's it. Hello, Neil Shadaka. Donald Trump. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. That's a lie. That's complete nonsense. He was loved and admired by all. Okay, I hate to be that person, but if he was loved and admired by all, then why was he shot? Like, that's the most obvious question that comes to mind. And I don't mean to be that person, but, you know, how can you say he was loved and admired by all right after he was shot by somebody? That's a weird thing to say, okay? That is a really strange thing to say after somebody gets shot. Oh yeah, everybody loved him. Well, apparently not. At least one person did not. Especially me. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife Erica and family. Charlie, we love you. So, again, this is going to be some people, he will be deified by this martyr on the right, by some groups. I'm really hoping that oh yeah, and of course the left, this will definitely be used to amplify messaging that the left wing is a bunch of bloodthirsty lunatics that just want people that they disagree with shot. I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee you that you will be seeing a lot of far-right pundits making the rounds, talking about how the far-left lunatic, how the far-left people are lunatics that just want everybody on the right dead. I mean, what does shooting Charlie Kirk accomplish exactly? Nothing. Like, is this what we want? Is this really what we want? Like, the same argument applies to the right. You do know that, right? They did that. A right-wing lunatic can make the argument of, oh my god, the trans lunacy is going too far. I guess it's up to me to take my gun and just start shooting people and start shooting pundits and just shooting everybody. They want my family destroyed. Laura Loomer is already calling for this and she's in his ear. Yeah. Let me guess, another trans shooter, right, Lucy? Well, so far the shooter is a drug addict, okay? So far the drugs are being blamed, not trans people. But we'll see. The night is still young, so maybe along the way we'll learn that the shooter is a trans person. I don't know. It feels like it's a bad precedent to set. Oh, there's this pundit that says crazy things. I guess he should be shot. You know? I don't think that's the way. Those views should be marginalized, of course. Those views should be criticized, marginalized, and ostracized. But it doesn't mean that the people should just get shot. We'll see. It shouldn't be the way, but he and the people like him made it that way. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in fight fire with fire or tooth for tooth, eye for an eye. I'm not a big fan of that. I guess I'm just crazy like that. I'm just a crazy lefty. Wait, no, I'm actually not lefty enough. Never mind. Here's what we know so far. The victim, 31-year-old Kirk, personified the pugnacious populist conservatism that has taken over the Republican Party in the age of Trump. He launched his organization Turning Points USA in 2012, targeting younger people, and venturing onto liberal-leaning college campuses where many GOP activists were nervous to tread. And he kept saying nonsense, to which people had a hard time responding in any substantial manner. And again, then Charlie Kirk would proudly smirk and declare himself victorious, even though he would falter against anybody that actually knew what they were talking about. He was actually pretty recently humbled by some professor from the UK or something. It's like anytime he spoke with anybody that knew what they were talking about, Charlie Kirk did not come out looking very good, especially on topics like Ukraine, because of course Charlie Kirk was a very aggressive anti-Ukraine advocate, because of course, what a shock and surprise. Are you surprised? Are you shocked by this revelation? The shooter. Authorities are still searching for the suspect. The mayor says a person who was taken into custody at Utah Valley University was not the suspect, according to a person familiar with the investigation, and was not authorized to speak publicly. It was not clear if authorities were still searching the campus for a suspect. How old is this article? We might have to look for something. We might have to be looking out for news about the shooter. We'll see. The location, it's not super. I guess location Kirk was speaking at a debate hosted by TPUSA. The event at UVU had been met with divided opinions on campus. An online petition calling for university administrators to bar Kirk from appearing received nearly 1,000 signatures. I guess, looking back, it would have been healthier for Charlie not to be barred. He would have complained about it, of course, but I guess he'd be alive. The university issued a statement last week citing First Amendment rights and affirming its commitment to free speech, intellectual inquiry, and constructive dialogue. None of which you got with Charlie Kirk, to be fair. Commitment to free speech, okay, I guess you got that with Charlie Kirk. Intellectual inquiry, what a joke. Constructive dialogue, yeah, sure. You had such constructive dialogue with Charlie Kirk. Updates take time. 3 new updates. Oh yeah. American flags are lowered at the White House. Jesus Christ almighty, that is so weird. Okay, I will say that is very weird. That the flags of the United States are lowered in the name of some pundit. Okay? That is extremely, extremely strange. But well, you know, it happens. The American flags on the White House roof at the north and south lawns have been lowered to have stuff in Kirk's honor as ordered by President Trump. That is bizarre. Trump took to social media earlier in the day to announce Kirk's shooting, death at Utah University appearance. Trump in that moment praised the 31-year-old Kirk, co-founder and CEO of the youth organization Turning Point, as great and even legendary. Sure. I mean, he was a spokesperson for Trump, so. Kirk's appearance at Utah Valley University marked his kickoff of his latest national college tour. Well, I guess that ain't happening anymore. There ain't gonna be any more tours. The tour featured Kirk's Prove Me Wrong table, where Kirk sat as he did on Wednesday, fielding questions from students, including those who disagreed with him. Well, that also is a thing of the past, I guess. Nobody will be proving him wrong anymore. The conservative activists had scheduled events over the next 2 months at locations including Colorado State University, the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, Virginia Tech University, the University of North Dakota, Montana State University, Indiana University, Louisiana State University, and the University of Mississippi. I'm not gonna be mourning Charlie Kirk. I'm not sad that he died, but you know what? I just don't see that as the preferred. I just don't see this as the preferred precedent of, oh, there's a speaker I don't like. Yes, he should be shot. This will just make things worse. I'm just saying. Kirk's killing follows political violence elsewhere around the country this year, including the assassination of Democratic Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband in June, and the fatal shooting of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington in May. Kurt Braddock, an assistant professor of Public Communication at American University says little is known yet about the shooter or the motive. I don't think that I'm a Polish socialist at heart. I don't think injustice should be solved by violence on the streets. I don't think that is the answer. I don't think that is the method. Any new news about this event? I would be showing some footage, but that would probably kill the stream if I show any footage of this event. So I'm not even gonna risk it for the biscuits because, I'm not gonna heal January 6th and got away with it. I don't know what else was left. Oh, well, he was a right-wing lunatic. He was as I opened with, he pushed the most right-wing lunacy. American flags are lowered, very weird. I wonder. I guess this is just gonna get worse, I suppose. Let me see. Charlie Kirk profile. Maybe there's anything. We'll see if there's anything on the shooter. Oh, Charlie Kirk shooting, visual timeline, maps, and photos. Maybe that's kosher to show. Is it Lucy herself? That I am me, yes. Oh my god. I don't want to. Although maybe. Can I log in? Look at my face as I log into... Oh no, thank you. I'm not paying anything. I'm not paying a dime. As a Polish socialist, you should probably condemn the political violence against public figure. A lot of socialists been targeted in Europe for their political views. Yeah. I am basically doing that, so. It was a strong belief among the Polish socialists that things are not done through violence. So, I guess I'm just living the tradition. The Guardian. Charlie Kirk's death shows political violence is now at a new high. Also press like on this stream as we are mourning the death of a great man. Legendary even. Beloved by all. I want to see if there's any commentary by right-wing pundits on this. Like Steven Crowder or whatever. Political violence is now a feature of US life. The shooting of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk at an event in Utah marks another example of ongoing political violence in the US, now a feature of American life. Wow, things sure got more stable and good under Donald Trump, huh? America is just becoming great again, I guess. More instability in the world, more violence domestically, more radical violence domestically. That's just, the pains of America becoming great again. It's just amazing. It's all the amazing things. I'd just like to take this a moment to note that all these amazing things are happening under Trump. My big fear is that political violence might extend to the common person such as me. I'd rather not get shot. Yeah, of course. It very much... I'd hate to be the fearmonger, but the political violence might very well start being extended to regular people. Oh, you're part of this minority. Are you here legally? Are you in this country legally? Maybe I should just take matters into my own hands and deport you myself or something. You're trans. You're a freak of nature. I should deal with you because you're trying to indoctrinate our children. What's to say this is not gonna start being a thing? What exactly is stopping this from becoming a thing? Oh, trans. You're trying to destroy our families and indoctrinate our children. It's time to, reach for my gun. Donald Trump confirmed on Wednesday that Kirk had died, saying, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie." Sorry, no likes until I learned something new. I've been on Mercado's stream for a couple of hours. Well, I don't know what you know. Okay? Also, I have a nicer voice than Mercado Media, so there's that. Okay? Mercado Media is the popular big streamer that has like hundreds upon hundreds or even thousands of views, okay? Live viewers. I need all the likes that I can get to grow from a micro streamer to a small streamer. You should be trying to support your favorite streamer, Vladimir, instead of saying, I watched Mercado Media's coverage. Give me something new or I will withhold affection. Kirk on campus, Utah. Let me try to find something on the shooter. Maybe that will be new. News on the shooter himself. Tools last hour. I don't know. I don't know if the answer is they already do that though. I'm not sure that's like that. Things can always get worse. I don't think we have the appreciation for the fact that things can always get worse. No suspect in custody. Witnesses describe lax security because, who cares about security? Charlie Kirk thought he had plot armor or something, I guess. I guess Charlie Kirk thought he had plot armor, which he clearly did not. Duh, gonna withhold my share, like, and subscribe. Wow, thank you. That is so mean.
We have a witness now who's joining us by phone. His name is Justin Hickens.
Oh, they're speaking with a witness. Okay, then. There you go. Something maybe new. Unless Mercado Media has watched this is something new. So I think I have earned your like.
He apparently was at the scene of the shooting. Justin, what did you see? What did you hear?
I was about 20 yards away on Charlie's left. I had gotten there probably just a few minutes before noon. There was thousands of people there. Unfortunately, there was no metal detectors. There was security by Charlie, but anybody could have shown up with whatever, unfortunately. And I happened to kind of maneuver my way down close on the side. And the first interaction probably took about 10 minutes. It was a religious-related exchange. And then there was someone who stepped up, ironically, coincidentally, who asked a question about mass shootings. And about 60 to 90 seconds in, we heard a big loud shot.
So I guess Charlie Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings. Wouldn't be surprised if he was in the middle of blaming the transes, and then he got shot, which is
a bunch of blood come out of Charlie. I saw his body kind of kick back and go limp, and everybody dropped to the ground. And luckily, there were no other bullets sprayed into the crowd because nobody was really able to go anywhere. It was just like a big, open pavilion, amphitheater, outdoor venue. And, lots of screaming, lots of yelling, lots of bodies on top of each other. And after a couple minutes, people got up and started kind of running, getting out of there. There were some gates, some barriers that had been pushed aside and knocked over, and people were able to move. And I started to move quickly, and then kind of realized that I said, I think we're okay. And I kind of stopped walking away, and I kind of turned around, and all of a sudden I saw officers walking with this very elderly gentleman with white hair, and they had him arrested, had him on his knees. He was screaming about, his rights and all that stuff, and they cuffed him and put him away, and about 20, 30 other people just said, yeah, that's the guy. That was the shooter. And people had said that they...
Well, apparently there's no real culprit in custody right now. Apparently the person caught was not... Apparently the culprit has not been caught. Person that was initially caught was not the person.
Seen him there early. He got to the event really early, was kind of walking around, talking to a lot of people, just this elderly gentleman, but that's all I got for you.
Justin, no, that's a lot, and I'm gonna keep you on the air with us because this is important.
I keep hearing that the real culprit has not been caught to date. So this description of an old guy that has been apprehended, apparently that's not the person. So
from what you saw, people who haven't seen these events, these turning point events, or these events with Charlie Kirk, people can go up, there's a microphone usually set up, and people can try to debate him or bring up a question or a point. Set up before the shooting, what exactly was happening, because you touched upon that.
Well, there was, I couldn't exactly tell how many, but I'm sure there was maybe 15 to 20 people in line to talk to Charlie, enough to where... Well,
there was at least one person in line to do more than just talk. I know that sounds horrible, but you know what? Dark humor is a Polish trait, and it gets us through stressful situation. Although, again, I don't like the precedent that it sets, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm mourning the death of Charlie Kirk.
He probably felt like it was going to take a good while to get through everybody. And he had only gotten through one exchange with an individual. And honestly, it was kind of getting drawn out a little bit too much. The crowd was getting a little restless. Like, hey, we're talking too much on this religious topic. Let's go to something else. And so finally they wrapped up, and then somebody else got up there, and like I said, for about 60 to 90 seconds, there was an exchange about mass shootings, transgenders involved in mass shootings.
There we go. I knew it. I knew that was the topic. It is not difficult to predict. I would actually, if somebody has a video of that brief exchange before the shot is fired, I would like to know how that sounded.
And ironically, that's when the shot went off.
And then when you heard the shot, did it sound like it was close, near to where he was speaking, or did it sound like it was coming from afar, maybe in the back of the crowd, or could you tell?
No, it sounded like it was the back of the crowd, which was pretty wild. I don't know though. It's like it must have been closer, but then
Yeah, I saw the close-up video, and obviously I'm not gonna show it now. Obviously, I'm not gonna show that video on stream because that would be the end. So yeah.
again, it's like if it was that close, how did nobody else?
Obviously, I'm not gonna show that. Obviously, that's... I've been sent the close-up video.
See this man pulling a gun out of his, side or pocket or whatever. So
Oh, you don't have to censor that comment, Conrad. It's fine. I think it's fine.
Once he was shot, once Charlie was shot, was there any first aid? Could you see? Do you know if paramedics were able to get to him? Was there any type of sort of first responders on the campus?
Well, there were about 15 to 20 people, right behind him, whether that was security, whether that was medical, whether that was whoever.
From what I've seen from that video, from that close-up video, the chances of him being saved were pretty slim. I'm not gonna... it didn't look like they were gonna exactly bring him back from that. That would look pretty decisive,
But as soon as he was shot, he, just kind of went limp, fell over, and then everybody just dropped and went down.
I mean, there was a big amount of blood coming out of his neck. He just dropped to the floor like a rag doll, basically. The field of necromancy has come a long way, Lucy. You never know, said fake Alec L. Parker. I mean, even necromancy has its limits. It was crowded artery, dead in seconds, not minutes. Did you hear the jets at night? No. Conrad, I slept through the biggest bombings in Kyiv ever since the beginning of the war. I'm not gonna hear jets flying, okay? If I slept through bombs falling that made the building that I slept in Kyiv shake. So I'm not gonna... That's not gonna wake me up at night, okay? I slept through some really strange things in Ukraine. Maybe you are awake. I get sleep... If I'm not streaming, I usually go to sleep during the night because the antidepressant medication makes me sleepy, actually. I'm very often sleepy lately. Until I get used to the medication, I'll be sleepy a lot of the time. And soon I'll be upping the dose. I also heard an explosion. Oh! You heard an explosion. Maybe a drone dropped nearby. If you heard an explosion, that means that a drone fell near where you were. So you should have reported it. Oh, did you get a message on your phone warning you to report any sighted drones and not to approach them? Fearless Lucy, wholly based. Yeah. I've noticed that a lot of streamers seem to be very cowardly, very weirdly cowardly. This is an aside not related to Charlie Kirk at all. I've seen Destiny talking about doxing, I think to Counterpoints or someone like that. In a real life talk, they were sitting on a chair and he was saying how, oh, I don't like doxing, I don't like that line being crossed, but I don't really care because people did it to me and it was terrifying. And there's footage showing Destiny being swatted. There are two people with machine guns coming on Destiny from behind, and Destiny raising his hands to the air with sheer terror in his eyes. It's like his face showing sheer terror, you know? And I thought to myself, wow, it's like, I hate to be that person, but is he a wimp? Like, I was in a situation in which I had people with machine guns waking me up from sleep and pointing machine guns at me. It was a border. I don't want to tell the story for the 50th time in a row, but I was in that situation where there were people with machine guns pointing at me, hands in the air, and I was like, oh, okay, you know? I wasn't, you know? Me, I'm just built different, you know? Maybe I'm just built different, but I did not have this, oh my God. But I did not have this reaction of being in sheer terror. Got $100,000 off of a situation like that. So I guess that's the thing. I don't know. It's just, and I consider myself a pretty wimpy crybaby. So that's strange, you know? I didn't report it because I saw it earlier on the map where they showed where all the drones dropped. Interesting. Okay. So I guess you assumed it was already reported. Fair enough. Fair enough. Those border guards were actually afraid of you. They were not. They were very much not afraid of me. But at the end of because they did an apartment search, and by the end of the search, they kind of figured out that it was a waste of time. I still remember when the guy in charge said, we're gonna confiscate all of your computers and we're gonna check what's on your computers. We're gonna take all of your computer equipment with us. And by the end of the search, they were like, yeah, we're not taking the computers. It's a waste of time. Yeah. Yep. That was actually pretty funny. Yeah, we're not taking your computers.
And I had bodies on top of me, and I was just
Bodies on top of me. Come on. Then now the guy is sounding like he's now he's talking like when I hear there were bodies on top of me, the image that my mind conjures is like a bunch of dead people. A bunch of people were shot and the bodies fell on him. But he just meant that people dropped to the ground and fell on him. They were not bodies. You did not have bodies on you. Jesus. What a way. Lucy, what did you think of my Biden image? It's very One Piece like. Very cute. Very nice.
just praying. I was just like, I hope there's not, a bunch of stuff spraying into the crowd here, because everybody's a sitting duck right now.
We sort of all witnessed what happened to President Trump when he was on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania, and what happened there. When this was happening, I mean, did it kind of register in your head, someone's trying to kill Charlie Kirk?
Oh, yeah, immediately. I mean, for a split second, you kind of like, wait a minute, is this really happening? And, you saw the amount of blood that came out upon the initial shot, and you knew that was, it did not look good.
After he's shot and he sort of collapses back and everyone hits the ground and people are piling on top of you, we've seen some videos of sort of the mass hysteria to run out of there. When does that happen?
I think that probably started maybe about 10 to 15 seconds after. People give it a few seconds, realize there's no more shots being fired. Now's our time to take a chance and get out of here. And so I was a little, I stayed down a little bit longer, and then finally realized after probably a good...
That is a weird question that comes to my mind, but I wonder if anybody got trampled during this event when people were running away.
Minute and a half had gone by that there were no more shots. I was like, okay, I'm probably good to get up and make a move.
These things happen so fast, and you said in your head you weren't sure if it was real or not. I'm assuming you live in the state of Utah as well. You've
Correct.
Likely heard gunshots before, rifle shots, buckshots, whatever it may be.
Oh, yeah.
It was unmistakable that what was happening as it occurred, right? But it happened so fast.
Correct.
I'm sure it could also be
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah, well, and people were just packed in. People were shoulder to shoulder in there. I mean, it was.
We actually don't have super much information from what I'm seeing. We don't really know what the motive of the shooter was. We don't really know much of anything. We just know that the guy was killed during a rally. Just that's it. It could have been for any number of reasons. It could have been done by any politically oriented person, honestly.
First got there, I couldn't even see the stage, and I said, hey, let me try to. It was just me by myself, so I thought, let me try to, maneuver my way down closer to the side, and so that's what I ended up doing. I was just completely, to his left on the side wall, but got about 20 yards away. I mean, there was one person in front of me on the rail.
Yeah, and did the crowd seem welcoming? I mean, we've.
Oh yeah, and this will definitely amplify the message of people like Charlie Kirk, of people of his political side, so to speak, that they are the victims, they are being hunted down, shot down, they're being attacked for speaking truth to power. Probably people are going to be talking about the radical left that wants to silence them. It's going to happen. I can see it from a mile away. Imagine if the kid is trans. Holy shit.
You see some red hats there. We know Charlie Kirk was a supporter of the president, one of his most vocal supporters. Was it sort of friendly to Charlie Kirk, or was it hostile?
I would say about 98% friendly. There was a small faction up on a balcony with a trans flag and lots of different rainbow-colored hairdos and, interesting-looking characters, let's say, that were kind of barking back and yelling and shouting. But for the most part, I would say 98%, welcoming and friendly.
When we look at this shot right here that we're freezing because we don't want to show the moment that he was shot, but this is maybe a millisecond.
Yeah, that would be... that would not go over well if I showed the moment of Charlie Kirk being shot. That would probably... I actually cannot tell what the consequences would be for this stream and or channel.
Before that bullet apparently enters his neck. It doesn't look like he has anyone around him. I know you said there were people there that were sort of some kind of security, but at least around him there was no sort of plexiglass, no kind of barrier. I mean, at least we can't see it. What do you remember seeing?
I mean, people don't usually, if Trump didn't have that, okay? Because there was this whole attempt on Trump's life during his presidential campaign. If Trump did not have those security measures, then why would Charlie Kirk?
Nothing. I mean,
why would Charlie Kirk have bigger security measures than Donald Trump? Not to take away from Charlie Kirk's importance, quote unquote.
Yeah, maybe the closest individual was still, 20 feet away from him. I mean, he was just at his table and his chair, and so I'm actually surrounded by a bunch of SWAT. There's a bunch of SWAT people going through campus right now. I'm inside with a group of people that was pulled inside, give testimony and stuff like that. So it's
Justin, I do have another question because we don't know this area as well. Some of our viewers may not know this area as well. How far is the closest hospital, would you say, to the school?
I don't think. Did Charlie Kirk even make it to a hospital? I don't think any source reported on that. I don't know. Did Charlie Kirk actually made it to a hospital? I feel like the way he got shot, I feel like he died before making it to a hospital, honestly.
Very close, actually. Couple miles. The Utah Valley Medical, it's one of the best hospitals outside of...
Yeah, but medical science has not gone that far. You cannot work miracles. That the way he got shot. Then again, Lenin was also shot in the neck and he survived for quite a bit after, so I don't know. They left the bullet inside of his neck, mind you, but still.
Up in downtown Salt Lake, and that's just a couple miles away, so it's very close. You can drive there from here. If it's just me stopping at lights, I can get there in 5 minutes.
And then it has an emergency room?
There. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hospitals typically have an emergency. That is such a stupid question. Okay, I think I have not ever heard a stupider question from the media. Unless in the US there are hospitals that do not have emergency rooms, which I would be pretty surprised to hear. That would be cutting corners quite a bit, to have hospitals that do not have emergency rooms. There's the hospital here. Yeah, it has an emergency room. Like, what kind of question is that?
Absolutely.
That last question was just very bizarre. That was very strange. Well, let me see if there's any more BBC. I saw the video and there was no way he'd survive that. Yeah, I saw the video as well. That is why okay, hospital, but would he even make it to hospital? Realistically speaking, for new updates, I guess. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Wrong thing, sorry. The Qatar thing. And now the computer decided to freeze. What the hell? 6 new updates. Okay. Let me see them. There we go. Just in. Person suspected in fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk is now in custody, FBI director says. So we are about to learn if maybe this person was trans or something. Robert Kennedy Jr. appears to invoke his family's losses as he reacts to the killing. Once again, a bullet has silenced the most eloquent truth teller of an era, of course. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I was afraid of this rhetoric. The most eloquent truth teller of an era. I don't even wanna take the opportunity to say what that speaks about America, okay? The US. If this is the most eloquent truth teller of an era, according to some American supporters, then that is a very sad statement. Charlie Kirk was not eloquent. He was definitely not a truth teller. And I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but none of these things are correct. As bad as it can sound, I hope this does not drag away Trump's attention from the drones over Poland. I mean, I don't think Trump's attention over the drones in Poland was all that huge to begin with, to be quite honest with you. I saw Trump's entry about the thing. It was something along the lines of, Russia sending drones to Poland? It's on now, or something like that. It was a very weird Truth Social post by Trump. Here you go. What? Why would you? Lucy, Sunday and Brooks were going to raid you, but couldn't. Oh, they couldn't? Well, why didn't they tell me? Hold on. Maybe I don't have him on. Jesus Christ, they really wanted to raid me. Of course. Of course, the moment that... Oh my god. Should I just set it so that everybody can raid me no matter what? Hold on, I'm gonna change. There we go. Yeah, I don't have that channel. No, I have. They should have been able to raid me. I have the Quarantine Collective added for raiding, so they should have been able to raid me. I have no clue why they couldn't raid me, but they should have been able to. I have the Quarantine Collective to the list of people that can raid me. In default, well, I don't have default added. I have to add, oh my god, I have to add all the, oh my god, of course. Too many channels, okay? People have too many channels. Well, I've added them now in default. So for future reference. Oh my god, well, I've wasted my opportunity. Hello, Grayon wannabe. Welcome anybody that decided to come to me anyway. Not rated. I hate the feature. Everybody should just be able to raid me. Different channel? Oh. Okay, let's just continue. So once again, a bullet has silenced the most eloquent truth teller of an era. We all know that this is incorrect. Kennedy wrote on social media. Oh, RFK Jr. Oh my god. Of course. He called Kirk a relentless and courageous crusader for free speech, or misinformation. Kennedy's father, for whom he was named, was assassinated in 1968 as he sought the Democratic presidential nomination. Yeah, because that is totally the same. That is completely that is an equivalent situation. Of course. Supporters gathered at Kirk's Turning Point headquarters to pay their respects. Who is this? Okay, I wanna see about the shooter. There you go. Person suspected in fatal shooting Charlie Kirk now in custody. But I want to see nothing. That's it. Just in person is suspected in fatal shooting. Okay, I have to Google. There has to be some more information than just that. There's nothing. Yeah, I know. He was just talking about how the transes are responsible for all mass shootings when he got shot himself. So that's a thing, I guess. There has to be some more news about this, right? Suspect in custody. There we go. There has to be some information. A suspect held earlier was released because he was not the accurate person of interest. A suspect was held shortly after the shooting, but he was released, not the accurate person of interest. He was released from custody after we identified that he did not match the shooting suspect and was not an accurate person of interest. However, he has been booked in the county jail by Utah Valley University Police Department for obstruction of justice. We do still have an active investigation for the person of interest. Gray says, earlier there were some reports that it was a middle-aged white guy with gray hair, but since then I haven't heard any details. Titan Uranus says, it is unknown whether the shooter could have heard what Kirk was talking about at the moment he shot. I mean, he could have heard it. Like, weren't there speakers? Like, he did have a speaker, right? Something 1995 says on Twitch, when World War III start, bro? I mean, wrong topic. We're gonna be talking about Poland and the drones soon. Don't worry. Officials believe shooting was a targeted attack. You think? You drink too much Pepsi. I have to keep awake. That's so true, chat. Charlie been shot after Battlefield 6 got released. Oh, Jesus Christ. The reports were it was a young, old, white, black, transsexual woman, man. Every bot on Twitter was... Can't you just drink coffee? No. Unless it's iced coffee. The shooter involved in today's incident fired one shot at one person. Oh, wow, okay. Officials do believe it was a targeted attack towards one individual. No way. Thank you. But I heard there was a new suspect in custody. Utah governor calls Charlie Kirk's death a political assassination. No way. And the sky is blue. I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination, Utah's governor said at a news conference today. Yeah, a lot of political stuff is happening in Utah. He called it a dark day for our state and a tragic day for our nation. Oh, come on. Charlie Kirk was not some U.S. national hero. That just stop. Okay, stop this. This is a really sad statement.
We are hearing from President Trump. He is on his Truth Social platform saying that Charlie Kirk has passed away. So
yes, again, I know. He was legendary. He was great. He was beloved and admired by all.
Read to you what the president...
These 500 people just happened to dodge and got out of the way. True.
...said, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you.
My goodness, how embarrassing. That's because Utah is the bastion of leftist lawlessness. My goodness. We have released our initial suspect, okay? They do not match our profile. They are not transgender enough. Okay, I think I'm gonna skip the jokes.
So again, President Trump telling us at this hour that Charlie Kirk has died. Kirk was shot.
Admired by all, especially me. Excuse me? I know, it's very weird. It's a very weird sentiment.
At a event at Utah Valley University earlier today, shortly after noon, according to the university. There was a single shot that rang out. He was shot in the neck, and now the President of the United States, someone that Charlie Kirk was close to, is reporting that he has died.
Well, it happened. Charlie Kirk is no more, but we still have no news on the suspect. Governor calls for an end to political hatred. Well, that's not happening. You can call for it, but... Person of interest in custody. There you go. What time is it now? Actually, this is fairly new. Cox says Kirk was first and foremost a dad to young children. He says he was also politically involved and that's why he was on campus. There we go. The governor then says a person of interest is in custody and that there is not another suspect at large, contradicting what FBI agent Beau Mason said a few minutes ago. So we have conflicting reports. We have a report that there is a suspect at large and that the initial person has been released. And now we are hearing from the governor that the person of interest is in custody. So we really are going to have to wait for more information to come out to get some clarity on this situation, because it seems very chaotic at the moment. It seems like we don't really have any concrete, solid info on the shooter. The US is a broken nation, says Cox. Our nation is broken, says unemotional Cox. He raises other political associations and attempts in recent months, from the June shooting death of a Democratic Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband, as well as the wounding of another lawmaker and his wife, the attempted attack on Democratic Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and the 2 attempted assassinations of Donald Trump during the presidential campaign last year. Yeah, I guess it's not surprising. Press like on the stream, by the way. Do press the like button on the Lucy Haze experience. I'm gonna go to the toilet. We're gonna be back. We're gonna talk about this some more, and then we're gonna talk about the main topic of tonight, which is, of course, Poland, because I'm a Polish person. And so we're gonna be talking about, Polish drones, or Polish drones, Russian drones on Polish soil. Cannot believe that I said Polish drones. Sounds crazy. Sounds insane. Suspect possibly shot from a roof, law enforcement, from 48 seconds ago. Before I go to the toilet, I guess I might as well read the new news update. The shooting suspect wore all dark clothing and possibly shot from a roof, according to Bill Mason from the Utah Department of Public Safety. He says authorities have CCTV footage of the suspect, but didn't provide a further description of what the person in the footage looks like. So we don't know the identity of the shooter in the slightest. Interesting. I'll be right back. Also join the side page while you're at it. lucyhaze.org/live or something. It's a great opportunity for you to, you know what happens. Well, there's an event, 50 seconds. I guess we're covering this event live. About 3,000 people in attendance at event. The police chief at Utah Valley University, Jeff Long, is asked about security on campus. Well, there was not much security. Open venue, outside, 6 officers. Kirk was surrounded by buildings, which makes sense because it's a university campus. So, of course, why are people so surprised that he had not great security? Why would Charlie Kirk have better security than Donald Trump? I just ate a bowl of mint chocolate chip ice cream, and so I'm very happy. I would like some mint chocolate chip ice cream, actually. Titan Uranus. I would like ice cream like that. It would make me happy. Oh, my super reporting person has said, assuming they're still here, that they have found the footage that I've been looking for. Okay? I have been tipped that someone has found the footage of the convo that Charlie Kirk has had just before the shooting. But I sure hope that it ends before the shooting, okay? I sure hope that it ends before the shot. Oh, it does have... Okay, never mind. Let's say for stream. Well, never mind. I'm not showing it then. I really want to know how that conversation went. Bro really died dunking on trans people, and the last thing you say is gun control doesn't work. Well, that is a very strange turn of events. We still don't know the identity of the shooter. There's gonna be a trans person of color. What did we learn from news conference? Here's the latest. Oh, okay. Kirk was taken to hospital by his own private security where he died. So he died at the hospital. I'm actually surprised he made it to the hospital. Officials gave conflicting answers when asked if the attacker had been caught. Yeah, I noticed that there's very conflicting answers. Some people say that the initial suspect has been released because he did not match the description of the shooter. Some people say that the suspect is still in custody. His last word was violence. FBI Director Kash Patel, moments before the conference began, said a suspect had been caught. Meanwhile, investigators on the ground said that they are still looking for the gunman. Vladimir says, that conversation went exactly how you imagined, with a loud clank at the end. One person was arrested immediately after the shooting, but was released after officials determined that he was not involved in the attack, although he will still be arrested for obstruction of justice. I've seen the video as well, Titan. I've seen the video. It is quite graphic, yeah. An active search is ongoing for a person of interest who may be involved in the attack. So there we go with the conflicting messaging about the suspect. The shooter is still at large, and officials say that they're not seeking anyone other than the lone attacker. CCTV captured the attacker. Utah Governor Spencer Cox called for Americans to stop hating. The chief of police for the university said there were 6 officers. Clearly not enough. Although I'm not really sure what more officers would have accomplished. FBI sets up tip line for information about shooting. So if there's a tip line for information, then that means that the perpetrator has not been caught. More officers unironically has the risk of more people getting shot, says Gray Yun Wannabe. Wait, hold on. This is a contradictory statement. A person of interest is in custody following the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, Utah Governor Spencer Cox said Wednesday. The investigation is ongoing, but I want to make it crystal clear right now to whoever did this. We will find you, we will try you, and we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. If the person is in custody, then why say we will find you? This is contradictory. The person of interest is currently being interviewed, officials said at a news conference today. Maybe person of interest does not mean the suspect. He was on a roof some distance away. Yeah, that is what I gathered. Oh yeah, I've seen. That is very strange in my opinion. That all the flags have been until Sunday. Jesus, that is strange. Yeah, he did. We read that update on stream actually. I find it very strange. Acting as if Charlie Kirk was some national hero of the United States of America. Very bizarre. Oh, I might have a version that's safe for stream. Okay, we might get a conversation that's safe for stream. There you go. Thanks to my agent of chaos. Let's see. Let's watch it. All right, we're about to see what transpired right before the shooting. What kind of conversation there was. Pre-watch first. Oh, sorry. I was just talking about the technical problems, how I don't like to do the display capture because I might show you my short stack goblins.
Yes, is that fair to say? All right, great. So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Oh, snap. What a dunk before the shooting.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Yes, is that fair to say? All right, great.
Okay, that's it. Gang violence. Those are his last words. Gang violence. There you go. Those are his last words. Counting or not counting gang violence. Interesting. Oh well. That's just poetic in the dark way. How many trans shooters? How many trans people are mass shooters? Too many. These are the last words. What a way to go. What a pathetic way to go. Former President George W. Bush says violence must be purged from the public square. Kafka's in the penal colony. Lawmakers reflect on Kirk's influence. Multiple Republicans in Congress knew Kirk personally and were devastated by his death. That is very depressing. Republican Anna Paulina Luna of Florida spoke on the Capitol steps, reflecting on his influence on her political journey. Luna said she was planning to go to medical school before Kirk recruited her to work as his National Hispanic Outreach Director. She attended events where Kirk debated students, like the one he hosted today. That conversation needs to happen, Luna said. You can't squelch that. So basically, wait, am I the only person actually showing that conversation right before the shot? Am I actually the only person showing that on stream? Is it really a Lucy Haze exclusive showing that? Also, this is the saddest thing ever that I've just seen. Oh, I was planning to be a doctor. And save people, but instead, Charlie Kirk recruited me to be a far-right loon propagandist. Great, amazing. What a what a trajectory. You know, I almost went to medical school. I almost went on to do something useful with my life, but Charlie Kirk changed everything. Okay. Wait, I already showed it. No, I think it was fine to show this. I think it was fine to show it. It was edited, so the shot was not shown. Only the conversation right before. So I think what I showed was fine. Wait, for showing the conversation that happened before the shooting? No, I didn't show the shot. I did not show the shot. I showed the conversation that happened right before. It ends in him saying gang violence or no gang violence, and then it cuts off before anything happens. So I did not show the moment of the shot. I received a highly edited version that was safe to show. So yeah. His org turning points, Gray Yun Wannabe says, his org turning points supported the group on my community college campus whose members physically assaulted me and my friends. Well, what a shocker. What a shock. 7 new updates. That's okay. What's the new? Former President George Bush. Okay, I guess that's it. I guess those are all the news. We already know that 6 officers were at the campus. I guess we're not gonna learn anything new for now. So that's it.